Good morning and welcome to the Morning Money Room. It's your girl Finance Muslima. This is Self-Care Sunday. I hope if you're woke, God bless you to wake up to another day. I pray you're having an amazing day of some self-peace this morning. It's 9 a.m. on a Sunday. Listen, I want to jump and dive into Self-Care Sundays. We're talking about finances after a divorce today. It's a huge subject area of the financial conversation that we haven't had, and we need to have it today. Welcome to the Money Room. If you are, wait, before I even get started on that, because before I even get started on that, y'all already know the vibes: prayers, affirmations, making an impact. That's the vibes over here. Prayers, affirmations, making an impact. We talk all things mindset and money. If this is your first time joining the Money Room, and just scrolling through to see what's up, don't be a stranger. Click the link in the bio. Make sure you're on the email list so you can get updates of the daily conversations, the freebies, the giveaways, all things mindset and money over here. So click the link in the bio. Make sure you stay connected. www.faithfamilyfinance.co www.faithfamilyfinance.co. And y'all know, before I jump in, always say that y'all know I'm always live and I'm always on 100, right? My energy is just like that. But we have a lot of people that are really still facing serious times in their lives. So I like to always tell y'all, drop some hearts, share some love to somebody else. A lot of people are really, really low key going through it out here. People scroll through social media, they're scrolling through life, they're scrolling through men, trying to find themselves, trying to find their purpose. Some people are having a really bad time. So I always like to say, drop some hearts and share some love. Walaikum assalam, good morning. Yes, share some love. Guys, we need to start doing it more. Our people, we need to start showing each other some love. Especially these social media platforms is like giving people anxiety, right? Because people are trying to damn blow up. They're like, I need to do $1 million in a day. Everybody's living this lifestyle. Some people are letting social media drive themselves insane, chasing something that they don't even know is not easy. And it does exist, but it's not easy. And we talked about that the other day. Being an entrepreneur, a business owner is just simply not for everybody. You have to be able to love the grind. You got to be able to love the process. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I'm actually late with y'all. I usually do 8 a.m. I love what I do. It doesn't matter what time it is or what day it is. I know we need work to put in. And I break down and give you guys a lot of strategic one-on-one tips, step-by-step things that y'all need to do. So if you always in the Money Room, you know, I always say, make sure you have a notebook and a pen, because we finna share some resources. I'm gonna throw some gems, and I love to be the help you guys. You know, this is about expanding this community of mindset and finances, period. The bottom line is we all have visions, dreams, and goals. You cannot reach them without a game plan. If you are afraid to sit down and face your finances or the things that you need to drop to unlearn those old ways of thinking, if you can't do it, it's going to be super hard for you to adjust and take in new information that you're not familiar with. So before I jump in, we are talking about rebuilding finances after divorce. We are talking about rebuilding finances after divorce today. That's the conversation. It needs to be had. People are going through things. I've experienced divorce. And it's a lot of ways that we're accustomed to living to, and we don't know how to readjust after divorce, and nobody's talking about it. You don't go sit, you people are not going to sit with a financial professional after divorce. They're just pretty much like, go through divorce. They're out there with them and the kids on their own, and they're just figuring it out. Or some people like to figure it out until they find another husband to come in and do this job, and they don't take time, or they've never sat down with themselves to really figure out what is it that they need to do to make sure you and your children are okay before jumping into another situation and being so dependent and reliant, which is fine if that's your husband, but you just experienced divorce, and now you got this time and you sitting by yourself. Get yourself together. Mindset and finances. If you're over on a Facebook group, I see a lot of new faces in the Facebook group. That's a good thing. I love to see the new faces in the Facebook group. So if you don't know me, or if you don't know my story, yes, I can speak on this topic, and everything I speak on the Money Room is I speak from personal experience. I don't come on here sharing stuff that I read out of books or sharing stuff that I heard on a podcast, right? I only share topics that need to be talked about, that I've had to set and address in my life, and it's stuff that needs to be talked about. The bottom line is it's going to be for some people, and then some people are going to be afraid of the truth. So it's going to be for you, or it's not going to be for you. But either way, we need to address these things. And my audience like when I talk about the real, because we need to talk about it. So, rebuilding your finances after divorce. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips. I'm going to share some things with you that you should be doing if you wasn't doing prior, or just the whole thing of getting back in motion. Anybody online right now who can honestly and be real and drop a comment and say that they've been divorced before? That's what I want to know. If you're online right now, if you're on IG, Facebook, YouTube, drop a comment and let me know if you've been divorced before. Because if you've been divorced before, you know what this is about. It's hard. You need support. You need help. You need to get yourself back out there, and you got to figure this thing out. So I'm going to give 5 tips. Rebuilding your finances after divorce. Take some notes to your cell phone. Write these things down. I got some good stuff for you. So the first one, guys, first and foremost, after being with a person for so long, living in a household with someone for so long, sharing everything with someone for so long, y'all may have lived in a home that y'all owned or purchased. He may have bought it. Some people are in marriages where they living in a home, he purchased it, and their name is not even on it as them being the wife. So the wife and the children could have nowhere to live or nothing at any point. It is happening. It's real. I don't understand how. Don't ask me that. But people doing what they're doing. So if you are, as Muslims, we, the man is the provider, so some women don't typically pick up a bill, or they don't have shared expenses in the household. Everybody's situation is different. This Clee's Kids Closet says she's been divorced. Yes, me too. So if you've never picked up a bill, you've never brought anything to the household, and then you get divorced, you're like, well, what am I going to do? But I will say that I know 85-90% of women are just always in charge of groceries, right? And cleaning, stuff like that. So if you've never picked up a bill, you've never paid the rent or the mortgage, you've never took your car to get a tire change, you don't know what to do when the refrigerator goes out, the washer dryer goes out, just all of these things, right? The bottom line is you got to get back and get to yourself. You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. Don't say in your mind, we're supposed to be married, you'll find another husband, but don't say in your mind like you need it right away, because everything happened for a reason. Use the time to utilize and focus on yourself and say, I got to be able to live and, feed my children and live a life that I want to, with or without a marriage. You have to. So the first thing I would say is to be proactive. Stop waiting, stop procrastinating. Be proactive in your life. Take control of your life. Be proactive, be proactive. First thing foremost, always the basics. I say take it to the basics. Create a budget. If you have a mindset of money getting cleared, you already know what our budget looks like. This book has everything you need in it. Be proactive. Sit down and write a budget. Sit down with yourself and say, hey, what is it that I'm working with? Okay, I got to figure this thing out. How much money do I make every month? How much money do I make a day? How much money do I make a week? How much money do I make every month? Write it down, add up. How much do you have? What are you working with? You have to physically sit down and write it and see it in your face. All right, how much money do you have? Then, because guess what? You know how much bills you got. They're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming regardless of where you at. If you have to go back home and live with your parents, you have to go live with a friend for a little while. You may have to downgrade and go into an apartment after the divorce. You just left out a huge house. Whatever the case may be and where you're at and what you're working with, you are solely responsible. And you've never been solely responsible. So now you have to figure it out. How much income you have going in every month, and then what your expenses are. Your first step to this overall financial thing after divorce, your first step needs to be creating a budget and sitting and being realistic with yourself and saying, okay, this is what I have, this is what I'm working with, but this is what I'm responsible for. So how am I going to make this work? You have to sit down and create a budget. Not adding everybody else's money, what you have. What do you have? Have you ever sit and ask yourself that question? What is it that I bring to the table? What do I have in this relationship? Whatever the case may be. Now it's the divorce. What did you build during the course of this marriage? Did you build anything, or did you solely get locked in on waking up every day and taking care of everybody else, and you forgot to take care of yourself? You got comfortable, 7-8 years flew by. Now you're divorced, and it's like you're starting over from a baby from scratch all over again. First step to getting back to your finances, rebuilding finances after divorce. The first thing is going to be proactive and create a budget. The second thing is going to be, you have to be realistic with your expenses. You have to. It's a lot that you will no longer be able to afford after divorce. A lot of people cannot live the same lifestyle after divorce that they used to live. You have celebrities, all these kind of people. You know why they so adamant about these prenups and this spousal support and all this stuff? Because they done created this lifestyle that now they need to maintain or want to upkeep, even though they're no longer with their person. See, it's all about mindset, and it's all about the person. If you're going through a divorce and you're solely worried about making sure you live the same lifestyle, you ain't get it yet. Because after a divorce, everything is going to shift. You may not have the funds that you had previously with two people in the household. You got kids you need to be worried about when they're going to be able to still go to sports. Are you going to be able to still do all the mall runs that y'all was doing on the weekends when you was bored? All them shoes, clothes, jewelry, all that stuff that you've been doing for them kids, you need to be worried about if you're going to be able to maintain your household, first of all, then worried about if you're going to still be able to live a lifestyle. So it's all about this and who the person is. The bottom line is you will no longer be able to do certain things. I said this for an example. Some women are used to about $300 in self-care a month. $300 in self-care a month. When I say self-care, what a lot of women consider self-care, facials, massages, lashes, frontal wigs, manicures, pedicures. That's what a lot of women consider to be their self-care. You could spend easily $300, $400 a month on that. If you did that throughout the marriage, and you're no longer married, women have this thing in their mind when they want to be able to get all of the maintenance done regardless of what. So that's why I always use that as an example. So if you no longer, she said, if she gets real, yes, it really does. So if you're no longer able to afford those things, so you're like 300 used to be the budget, right? Or what you were spending. And now you had to cut it all the way down to 100. You're like, what am I going to do with $100? That's because another thing I want to tell y'all too. Hey, coach, good morning. Another thing I want to tell y'all too, right? Just because a man is supposed to be a provider, I'm Muslim born and raised, right? The man is supposed to be a provider. We are supposed to be married. We don't supposed to live in fornication or all of these things, right? But this is the thing, us as women, we don't have to say, okay, get super comfortable because he's doing everything and all of this stuff, and then you're not stacking no money. You have nothing on the back end. The thing that I always say to people with my previous marriage, I'm like, I feel that this day and age and time that we live is 2021. I can't, like it get hard for the husband too. Did you ever think that maybe I should, get a part-time job, start making some money at home? Things get hard for him too. Can you pick up that $200 or $300 water bill when it's getting crazy for him to take something off of him while in the marriage before the divorce even happened? Like, were you being proactive in the marriage and thinking like, damn, I need to have something to bring to the table if he need me to. That's just how I think. And this the last thing I'm gonna share with y'all. Being in a marriage, and my husband previously, he was paying every single thing and all that. I'm gonna tell y'all, and I love to be transparent and honest. It crippled me to a certain extent. It crippled me because I was not used to paying bills and rent. I wasn't used to washing clothes, cooking dinner, cleaning the house, all this stuff. He did everything. It cripples you as a woman. So now I get out, we split up, I get out, I'm out on life, I gotta live my own. Yeah, I had a good job, I had side business, I had a good, making nice money and Philly and all these things. But did I know money management? He was better at money than me back then. Good morning, Queen. Do you know money management? Do you know how to, can you be nice and pick the cable bill up one time and have him like, ooh. We never had arguments or conversations about cheating or nothing like that. It was like, what you doing this month? What you bringing to the table? I'm like, oh, I'm a, acting like or try to find something I'm gonna do because I'm so used to him doing it. So then you get out on your own. I had the money and the income. Why they come out sit down? But I had to figure out how to do this thing, how to hold the household down, how to run everything by myself because I was not used to doing it. So I want to be honest with y'all, guys. Listen, this social media stuff that's prepared, it look very good. I know you want it. A lot of people are tired of struggling. They want different. But listen, you have to be proactive whether you're in a marriage or you're not. You got to be proactive on your own life first. Right. So I had to, it crippled me through the divorce, not doing nothing, got super comfortable. Then you get out, you're like, okay, I got the money. Where do I even begin? He used to do all of this. As women, we need to, I think that we need to understand that, yes, he's the provider of the household. He's going to, maintain, he's going to keep the foundation solid, but you got to be able to pick up if need be. You gotta want something of your own, even if it's something like, you know what I mean? Being realistic with yourself. The third tip that I have you for rebuilding finances after divorce: live below your means. Stop doing all of those things, spending all of the money that you used to do. The bottom line is too much. It's a waste of money. You may have an extra $500, $600, or $1,000 to waste every month when you was married. Now you don't have money to waste. It's crunch time. You got to create a plan, save money, figure out how you're going to create extra income now. What are you going to build for your children, yourself? What are your longevity goals? What are your short-term goals? You have to figure things out. So if you are afraid to go and live below your means for a little bit, for to create something long-term wise, then I don't know what to tell you. You got to be willing to. You have to be willing to take a step back and say, okay, I'm used to being in this big extravagant house. We had the white picket fence. I lived the dream and all of this. Now I got to go back to an apartment with the kids. That's fine. Guys, listen, grind and struggle build beasts. And I'm telling you because you're looking at one. Don't be afraid of the grind and the struggle. It builds beasts. All you have to do is avoid distractions, create a plan, and you have to stay consistent. Live below your means. My kids like to watch. Listen, nobody paying $300 for cable no more. That's the bottom line. Nobody's paying $300 for cable. They 11, 8, and all that. Like, listen, we got Wi-Fi. We want to do some streaming. Mommy trying to get us a crib. We got to pay these car payments and all this stuff that we got now. You got to be real with these kids and stop trying to not tell them so much, because we came up like that already. A lot of things being blinded in the household. We learned out a lot of things late in life, especially when it comes to this finance conversation. So just be honest. I have a 17-year-old, 17 in 1 month. I'm super open and honest with him with everything. I don't like to block or sugarcoat nothing. He needs to know, because I want him to make his mistakes early in life. I don't want Habib 30, making mistakes that he could have made at 19 if I didn't shelter him. So don't shelter him. You ain't got to tell them everything, but they know mommy's going through a divorce. We live in a different house now. It's a whole new life. We got to figure this thing out. The kids love you. I mean, it's going to be a mess at first. They'll step up and eventually start helping you when they see you moving your feet. It's not about a lot of conversation. When the kids see you moving your feet, you ain't in the house sitting around watching reality TV, talking on the phone all day no more, going to all these stores to get nothing, cooking and cleaning all day. Now you out, you moving around. Listen, they see, and they know. You start moving your feet, the household and everybody attached is going to move accordingly. If your teenage daughter don't see you doing nothing but laying around all day, having babies, cooking, cleaning the house, that's all she will want to do. And listen, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but we have to teach our boys and girls life skills. We have to teach them life skills. Your teenage daughter needs to see your 5-6-year-old daughter. Let's go back that far, because what you see and what you remember starts from childhood. Remember, we went through that. So now the ones that you're raising, everything that they're experiencing and seeing is going to affect their adulthood. So even at 5 or 6 years old, she should be seeing you be proactive. Not all the time just going to sit in the nailery with you, get pedicures, get manicures. Or you need to be praying with her. You need to be showing her all types of life skills, different things. She need to see you walking in a bank, whether it be deposit or withdrawal. She needs to see you, and they need to see you doing these things, because as they get older, the way they live, how they react to life, what their structure is going to be, what they're going to have embedded in their mind is what they see in the household every day, what they see. And you know that is real, because what's in your mind and what's in our minds right now is everything what we went through as a child. And that's a lot of the reason that's crippling people growth, is because it's so hard to unlearn. Grown people, it's hard for grown people to unlearn. So don't put that stuff in your kids. Give your kids a better life. Give them a better layer of life experience now, so that they don't have to go through what you currently go through. And let's be honest, we all go through it, because I went through it too. But your why has to be strong enough in order for you to learn how to unlearn, get uncomfortable. Yeah, free school. Don't teach kids life skills. They don't have these kind of conversations with their kids. They don't talk about money. Don't talk about credit. All they say is, do these little worksheets, get these grades, and go to college. The household, you got to be in control of your kids' lives and not leaving the responsibility to the school district. Next, number 4 would be, my suggestion would be if you are a woman that's experiencing divorce, you're trying to get your life back, you want to get back your mindset, you want to get back to your old ways, you may have lost yourself through the marriage, you may have come out of the marriage a better person, you want to keep a peaceful vibe, you want to, my advice would be, become a part of something bigger than you. I tell all women this, whether they're married or they're not, because it's the thing that I've had done that changed my life. 2013, leaving Philly, moving to Charlotte. It's been 8 years I've been in Charlotte. Listen, when you become a part of something bigger than you, whether it may be a support group, a group of Muslims, some women doing different things that you're not used to doing, that's what you need. You need different. Always encourage women, become a part of something bigger than you, whether it be a support group, business groups, positive groups, coachings, whether it be therapy, whatever it is that you need to not only get right in the moment, but to build a better longevity life, then that's what you need to do. Become a part of something bigger than you. So you can meet, get inspired, get encouraged, have a listening ear. You get to listen out all the things that all these other women are doing. They may be from all places around the world. Everybody have different walks of life. Become a part of something bigger than you. And guess what it's going to do? And I promise you this 200%. What it's going to do for you is going to encourage you to start dreaming so big. It's going to encourage you to do better and want to be better, because now you're around people that you're like, gosh, this is really living. What was I doing all this time? It's going to encourage you to be more bossy, get back to you. And then when you get married again, you're going to be a whole new woman. I encourage you guys to become a part of something bigger than you. Alhamdulillah, my mom took me to all her bank trips, and finance skills is very major in the family. It really passes down. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I absolutely agree with that. And last but not least, the fifth tip that I would say, get help get help if you need it. Always, of course, y'all know I always say prayer, affirmations, and making an impact, right? Super big on prayer. You got to have some type of faith and religion. You got to pray. You have to have some type of connection with your Lord. That's the bottom line. But let's be all the way realistic. People need therapy. I go to therapy. Yes, I do. Love it. It helps me along with prayer, along with my daily self-development things that I personally struggle with. Everybody have their own stuff. Prayer first and foremost. Maybe get a connection with your Lord. Some people don't need therapy. That's fine. Whatever it is that you need, I just know that this conversation needs to be had, especially in our Black communities. We're not having this conversation enough. We go through all of these things. Mental health become a big issue. And then we just piling stuff on top of stuff and never really sitting back and having the time to look at what was really wrong. And a lot of times sometimes some people play the blame game. They don't know. They're like, oh, dang, if I would have did this one thing different, maybe it wouldn't have happened. But if you have a thorough, open conversation, realistic conversation with somebody, you may come to learn like, yo, it really wasn't me. You know how much weight that take off of your back every day? You know how much baggage and grudges and bitterness and resentment that people walk around with every day. And it stops them from operating every day, being the best them mentally wise. They can't think past where their space that they're currently at, because it's so much that they got on them. It's weighing them down. You can't operate as the best you with all of that stuff on you like that. If you are, so that was the 5 tips to rebuilding your finances after divorce. I hope to help you guys. Y'all know sometimes I've been going real deep on certain subjects, but I like to be honest and transparent. That's why I talk about situations that I personally can relate to, that I've grown from, that I've struggled and went through, because I know that this conversation, whether it be right now who is in this live, or somebody's going to come, people are going to come through this live or this YouTube, and it's going to help somebody else. So that's what it's about. So that's my 5 tips on rebuilding your finances after divorce. What I'm on the journey to do, doing, and I'll need my tribe to help me do this, to expand this mindset and money conversation. If you know somebody that these conversations can help and they need financial resources, tag them, comment, share this video with them, like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Please, please, I need y'all help to build and expand this community. We've been going strong since 2017. It's 2021. I'm super excited about what's to come. If you have not downloaded 60 Ways to Cut Back, I have a free cheat sheet for y'all. It's summertime. It's a lot going on. We need to find some more inexpensive ways to have fun, create memories, and enjoy our family, all while staying on a path to buying that new car, purchasing that new home, investing more, getting into real estate, whatever it is you want to do. So download 60 Ways to Cut Back. Click the link in the bio and grab that. If you do not have the Mindset and Money Game Financial Planner, tell your auntie, sister, cousin, brother, men need to get on top of their finances as well. Grab you a Mindset and Money Game Financial Planner, $24.99. Y'all know the vibes, prayers, affirmations, and making an impact. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. It's Self-Care Sunday. Don't forget to do something mentally self-care for you. So if you have your Mindset and Money Game Planner, today is the perfect day. Sit and write your personal development goals, spiritual goals, financial goals, family goals, whatever it is. You have areas all throughout this planner that are created where you can get into you. Create yourself a weekly schedule, do your weekly budget. It's Self-Care Sunday, so take some time to get into you today.